Are you tired of always forgetting your password information and frustrated when you log into your iPad or your iPhone and don't know how to find where to manage your passwords? In this video, I'm going to turn you into a password master and show you everything you need to know about managing your passwords on your iPad and iPhone. My name is Rick Smith, and I help friends, family members, and clients around my community with tech problems. And inevitably, when I'm doing this, I run into a situation where I need password information for an app or a computer or a website. And when I ask the client or a family member or friend what that is, I would venture to guess 80% of the people say to me, I haven't a clue. I don't know what that password is, and I don't know where my password book is. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that will help you not only create secure and memorable passwords, but also how to manage that password information on your devices and share that information with others. So if you're ready to get going, let's get started. Tip number 1 is creating secure and memorable passwords. The reality of passwords is, at least in my mind, they're going to be around for a while. So the best thing we can do is make them as secure as we can, and also be able to make them something that you can remember. So I want to give you a few tips on doing that. First, let's look at making them secure. The best thing we can do is make sure the passwords are at least 8 characters, and they can be longer if you can figure out how to remember them, but the minimum should be 8 characters. The second thing is, most websites these days, or login sites, usually require you to have certain characters in the password itself. You need to have at least 1 capital letter, you probably need to have at least 1 number, and you probably need to have 1 special character. So as you're building your passwords, make sure you include at least 1 of those 3 things. And the final thing I'd suggest on making sure you have a secure password is don't include any personal information. And what I mean by that is, don't use your house address, or don't use your phone number, or don't use your birth date. And by all means, don't use personal names, family members, yours, anything like that. So how do you create a memorable password? Well, I've kind of come up with a slick way in my mind that I can use that has worked well for the last 5 or 6 years. And that's based on creating a phrase that I can use in every password that I create for any website, any web app, or whatever. And then I can make it unique for a given website by adding a character on at the end. And I'll walk you through an example to show that. But the first thing we got to do is come up with a word or words that can start this phrase out that you'll always remember. And in this case, I use the word Alcatraz. And note I have it Alcatraz with a capital A. It was a place we visit on vacation, and I'll always remember that. So I thought this is a great way to start out my phrase. The next thing you do is you add the 4 digits for the year that the password was created. So in this case, it would be 2025. Helpful for trying to remember when you last updated your password. The next thing you do, and remembering back to making passwords secure, I want to put a special character in after those 4 digits. And in this case, you can pick any of them. It could be an ampersand, question mark, pound sign, you name it. Just pick one of those and place it right after the 4-digit year code that you entered in your password. And then finally, to make a password unique for a given login or a website, you basically use the first letter of the app or website address at the end of this phrase. And there you have it. You not only have most of it common with every password you got, so it's not hard to remember, but then you can make it customized for any app or login that you do by adding a unique character at the end, which is the first letter of the app or the first letter of the website address that you're logging into. It's as simple as that. It's easy to remember because you know all of the information there because it's the same on all passwords. The only thing difference is that last letter depending on the website you're logging into. All right, I'm going to show you a couple examples just to show you how simple this can be. Let's say we're wanting to log into the USA Today website and they want a password. So what do? The password would be Alcatraz with a capital A, the year 2025. I use the $sign for my special character, and then I put a capital U at the end of that to be unique for the USA Today site. Pretty simple and easy to remember. So let's do another one here. Let's say we wanted to create a password for the Microsoft website. So what do? The password would be Alcatraz with a capital A, the year 2025 at the end of Alcatraz, a $ added after 2025, and then a capital M to identify this is a website that starts with M. Easy to remember and simple to maintain. So that's how you create a secure password and a memorable password. Tip number 2 is saving passwords automatically using the iCloud keychain. So what the heck is an iCloud keychain? Well, on Apple devices, iPads, iPhones, and even Macs, Apple uses what's called the keychain to save your login information and password information. And then they store it in the cloud. So then it's available to any of the devices that you're using. So what we want to do is make sure your devices are set up correctly so that the iCloud keychain is turned on. And when you enter these new passwords we just went through, it will remember them for you. So let me switch over to my iPad and I'll demonstrate how you do that. I've moved to my iPad now and I want to demonstrate how you find out if your keychain function is turned on for your iPad or your iPhone. Same procedure for both of them. I'm going to demonstrate it here on my iPad. So what you want to do now is go down to your settings button here. And then you notice up in the upper corner here where you see Rick Smith, that is my Apple account iCloud information. So we want to click on that. And so what you do is you scroll down here. I don't see anything that says keychain, but if you look at where it says iCloud, you click on that. And then in the middle it says Save to iCloud. And over here to the side it says See All. So we want to click on that. And here you go. Fourth one down, you see Passwords and Keychain. And it shows it's on, but let's just click on that. And so you can see there's a button here that says Sync this iPad. It's turned on. If it's showing over like this, that's not good. You want to make sure that's turned on to sync all your iCloud passwords and keychains. So that's as simple it is to make sure your keychain is recording your login information for different websites and apps. Tip number 3 is use the Apple password utility to see all your passwords. So what is this? Well, let me take a step back first. In previous months and years, you could go into your settings on your iPad or your iPhone and you would find a passwords item there that you'd click on and you'd be able to see all the passwords that are saved on your keychain on your iPad or iPhone. Well, just recently I went to look for that and I couldn't find it. So I did some searching on the internet and found out that Apple now has a password utility or an app that you can download from the App Store that allows you to see all the passwords that you have saved on your Apple devices. So what I want to do now is walk you through making sure that you have that utility on your iPhone and your iPad, and then just show you what that Apple password utility can do. So I'm going to switch over to my iPad now and show you how to do that. I moved back to my iPad once again, and I want to show you how you can determine whether you have the password utility installed on your iPad or your iPhone. And the simplest way I found is to go up here to the App Store and tap on that. And in the search bar, you want to type in the word password. And then you hit the blue search bar. And here you see all sorts of apps and utilities that have the word password in it. The one we want is this one right here. You can see password utilities. It's got 3 colored keys. And if you look over to the right here, you can see the word open. That means I have it already installed on my PC and I simply just have to touch that to open it up. If you do not see open, you'll probably see a cloud with an arrow pointing out of the bottom of it, and that's the download icon. You just simply tap on that and within seconds it will switch over to open. And then you simply just touch that to open it up. It asks you for your code. And so here is the general look of this page. Over to the left are 6 different buckets. I refer to them as all. That shows all saved information. Here's one that's for passkeys. Here's one's for codes. Here's one for Wi-Fi, your Wi-Fi login for different places. Here's one for security issues, and then here's for deleted. We want to go to the all up here. And what you see here in the center are all the login information and passcodes that I have used using my Apple products, the iPhone and the iPad. And this is where you find out information about the particular ones, password information, login information, like that. So we're going to pick one here. I've got one here. It's Courier. It's our local paper that I no longer have a subscription to. And we'll click on that. And what you see here on the right is all the information, my username, my password, the website address, and when it was last modified. And even at the bottom here, you can see a change password if you wanted to do that. So how do you find out what the password is? Well, you see these dots. If you touch those dots, you can see now it's showing the passcode that I had in there before I canceled the account. Pretty slick. Easy way, if you just are drawing a mind blank on a password, you simply come over, find the app or the website address that you want to find the password for, click on it, and then click the dots and it'll show you the password. It even has a way to copy the password by clicking on that, and then you can go back to your email or your text and you could paste that information into an email or a text and send it to someone. Very easy to share that information with someone that's not around you. Tip number 4 is how to share your password safely. If you're like me and probably 99% of the other people, if you want to share your password with someone, you grab a piece of paper and write the password down and just hand it to them. Well, in this new password utility that Apple has provided, there's a method there to share passwords with people that are near you using AirDrop. And I want to show you how you can use that. All right, for tip number 4 in sharing passwords safely, I've gone back to this actual login information for the Courier website, which we talked about previously. And what I want to point out is this little icon up here. That's the share icon that Apple uses. And if you click on that, don't pay attention to the move to group. That's for moving stuff over here. We want the share with AirDrop. And so I click on that. It asks for my passcode again. And what that does is it shows anybody that's in proximity to you with an Apple device. And unfortunately, because I'm by myself, the only device that shows up is my iPhone. And I'm using that to film this, so I can't really demonstrate any farther than this. But what you do is you click on the names of the people that show here that you want to share that login information with. And it will, once you click on them, it will send a message to them saying, Rick Smith has airdropped something to you. Do you want to accept it? And you click on it, and bingo, all this information that you see over here is sent to them without you having to write it down. So it's a pretty slick way of being secure with sharing information by simply using the AirDrop function on your phone and your friend's phone. Tip number 5. For extra security, use two-factor authentication. So what is this? Well, I'm sure you probably all at one time or other have seen a window pop up saying, we want to send you a code to confirm it's you. Give us your text or your phone number so we can text you, or give us your email address again so we can email that code to you. And this is just another way for them to confirm that the person logging into the website is actually me, in this case, and not someone else that's trying to hack into the system. So you select the method that you want to use to get the code. I recommend using the text to your phone number, but you can also have it sent to your email address. Either way, you open up the text or open up the email in your inbox, read the number, the code that they send you. It's usually 6 digits, and then you type that into the box they provide in the pop-up window that they sent to you. And that takes care of it. They've now confirmed through your login with your ID and password, plus this code, that the person trying to access this account is truly you. So just a heads up on that. It's an initial way of having more safety in protecting your accounts and your login sites. So there you go. 5 tips to not only help you create secure and memorable passwords, but also steps in how you can manage your password information on your iPhone, your iPad, and even Macs. But I got one more bonus tip for you, and that has to do with what happens if you have no clue what your password is, you don't have it saved on your iCloud keychain, you just don't know how to get logged into your website. Well, I'm going to show you that most websites that are out there today, below where you log in, will have a button that says Forgot Password or Reset Password. And I'm going to walk you through how you do that on a website just to show you how to do it. So to do that now, I want to switch over back to my iPad and demonstrate that for you. I want to demonstrate now how to reset a password on a website. And I've just picked a site, in this case it's weather.com, and this is the page that popped up. And if you notice over here to the right, there's a sign in button. So we'll click on that. And here's the login site where you would enter your email and your password. But let's say you don't know your password, so what do? Well, if you look over here to the right above that password box, there's a Forgot Password line. And what you want to do is click on that, and it opens up another window where it asks you to enter your email address registered on this account. So let's see if I can type this in. I'm not a very good typer, but so I got that entered, and then I hit Request Reset Link. And so now what we'll do is we'll close this out, and I'm going to go down here to my email. Well, there you saw a pop-up. And you can see over here, reset password request from Weather Channel. Forgot your password. We've received a request to reset the password associated with this email address. And to reset that password, you click on the blue box here. And then it's got a spot here where you can enter the new password. And as we discussed before, it's got to have at least 8 characters, at least 1 number, and one at least special character. And so you enter one of our new passwords that we learned how to set up today in here, and then you repeat it down here in this box, and then you hit the reset password. So that's as simple as it is. Once you do that, you'll get an email that says it's been accepted, but then what you'll do is you'll go back to this place. Oops, wrong one. You go back to here, and we go back to the sign in button up here in the corner. And then you would log your email address in and that new password that you just entered, and you're good to go. Not only are you now in with a new password, but your keychain, if you turned it on, will now have that saved information there, so you won't have to log in typing it in again. I hope these tips have been helpful to you, and now it eliminates the fear of you forgetting passwords, and now you're a master at creating passwords and being able to access that information on your iPad, your iPhone, and your Mac. If these were helpful to you, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you like tips like this, check out my YouTube channel, RSTechALO. I have several other tips on iPads, iPhones, and even PCs and smart homes. So check it out.